The movie I've chosen for this week's review is Unforgettable, which stars Ray Liotta, Linda Florentino, and Kim Cattrall.
Pardon me if you can. Movie reviews.
Dr. David Crane, Ray Liotta, a forensic pathologist, is haunted by the brutal murder of his wife. Everyone believes that he was responsible for her death, but has never been convicted due to a technicality during his trial. Crane was a violent alcoholic and can't remember anything from the night of his wife's murder. Determined to prove his innocence to his two young daughters and to find out what exactly happened to his wife, he seeks the help of Martha Briggs, a scientist who has developed an experimental drug whereby utilizing someone's spinal fluid, you can experience the person's memory. Crane becomes obsessed with the memory drug and uses it to try and find out what happened to his wife. Crane has to battle with heavy side effects from the drugs as he tries to uncover the mystery of his wife's murder. This was directed by the very talented John Dahl, who made cult hits such as Red Rock West, which we covered on this channel, and of course The Last Seduction, which we'll eventually get to. This was his first major studio film, and in his own words he said he picked a thriller with a science fiction slant to it. One of the great triumphs in this movie are the flashback sequences. Once Crane injects himself with the memory serum, he flashes back to the most horrifying moments of that person's memory. There is one scene where he experiences the last moments of a girl in a convenience store just before she is shot in the head. It is an extremely shocking moment, with terrific visuals and sound design that all add to a very traumatizing scene. Crane injects himself with the memory of a killer, and we see violent moments of the killer's cruel upbringing that has a strong effect of humanizing the killer. The mechanic of the memory drug is terrific, and the movie does a great job of exploring it with its visuals and sound design. Ray Liotta does a virtuosic job playing these very intensive scenes. The main character, Crane, is so infused with identifying his wife's murderer to prove his innocence to his children, but most of all, it's to confirm to his own soul that he was not responsible for the murder. There is a sense that maybe he did have something to do with his wife's death, that he gets so drunk and violent that maybe he could have done something to her. This comes at a high cost. The memory drug that Crane takes starts to erode his health. He suffers from high blood pressure, heart attacks. The side effects also affect him mentally, as the horrifying memories of the victims and murderers flash into his mind, causing extreme panic attacks. Despite this, Crane pushes on, demanding more of the serum, even at the cost of his own body. Ray Liotta is perfectly cast, playing this role of a man who begins to decline physically and mentally, but still pushes on no matter what. The very beautiful Kim Cattrall is in this as well, but has very little screen time. The stunning Linda Florentino is very awkward, but I really like it how loyal she is to Crane and how much effort she goes through just to help him find his wife's killer. This is a huge contrast to a virtuosic performance in The Last Seduction. The film's last hour falls into very conventional thriller plotting, revealing a very predictable plot twist that doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense. Either the writer was trying to stay loyal to the conventions of the 90s thriller genre, or got really lazy and gave up in the third act. The film suffers heavily from its length at just under 2 hours. It really needed about 15 minutes removed as the plotting became obvious and predictable. I did find, however, the very ending of the film to be extremely dark, probably one of the great triumphs in all of film noir. Now, the ending on the VHS edition, which I have here, plays at the very end of the movie the song Unforgettable by Nat King Cole, while the DVD edition, which I also have here, plays just a straightforward dark score. Obviously, somewhere along the lines, the producer or the director took away that song and just had a straightforward score. Personally, I think the original ending with the song Unforgettable by Nat King Cole is vastly superior. It just adds a strong sense of sadness to it, while the DVD edition is just more straightforward and dark. So if you can get your hands on the original VHS edition, I highly recommend you check it out. Now, if you're a big Ray Liotta fan like I am, I highly recommend Unforgettable. It is a brilliant performance.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.